Berlo's communication theory, as represented in this model, was popularized in the 1960s. As illustrated in Berlo's communication model, the communication process entails a sender of a message and a receiver of the message. Berlo explains that the way the sender sends a message and the way a receiver of the message interprets the message are influenced by the following factors. Number one factor, emotions. The individual's state of mind, how the person is feeling at the moment, his or her moods or feelings will affect the way a person or an individual creates and shapes the message. In the same way that the mood, the feelings, the state of mind of the person at the moment he or she is receiving the message will affect the way that person or individual will perceive the meanings of the message. Number two, the knowledge, which includes the person's understanding of things, a person's prior knowledge or stored information, will have an impact or bearing on the quality of the message that the person will be sending, as well as, on the other hand, on the part of the receiver. The receiver's knowledge, the receiver's prior information stored in his memory or her memory will have a bearing or impact on the way that person or individual will be able to understand or perceive the meaning of the message. Number three factor, the person's background, which includes cultural, social, economic, religious, political, educational background, as well as the person's orientation based on how that person has been brought up or raised. All this personal background will have a bearing on the way a person shapes or delivers the message to a receiver. On the other hand, the receiver's background will also have an impact or a bearing on the way that person will perceive or will give meaning to the message that that person is receiving from the sender. Number four factor, biases, the person's beliefs, opinions, values, a person's philosophy will have a bearing on the way a person shapes or delivers the message, as well as will have a bearing on the way a person will perceive a certain message. So the biases of the person is another factor that can influence the way one sends the message and the way one perceives the meaning of the message. Number five factor, a person's ability, which may include a person's intellectual or mental capabilities, a person's emotional quotient, a person's sense of sight, sense of hearing, the person's listening skills, language or communication skills. These abilities of the person will have a bearing on the way a person shapes or delivers the message, as well as will have a bearing on the way a person perceives or give meaning to the message that he or she is receiving. This is a very simplistic model, as it does not consider the channel and the medium of the communication, as well as it does not indicate the impact. However, the theory enables us to understand diversity factors among communicators or actors in the communication process. It helps us understand why the impacts of messages vary, even if you use the same content or approach in delivering the message.